Hello there. Hi, it's Adriana, and I am back with a new series today. If you haven't already seen my previous videos, I am an influencer, a motivational speaker, a writer, and also a professional dancer. And on this YouTube channel, particularly, I find two different lessons with informational messages that I like to call series for anyone out there that may need my testimony to learn from me one day and to just get through life. I believe that being authentically yourself and take it upon the journey is all that it takes to be successful. And so I'm here today with a new series called The Blind Spot. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and tune in to the previous series because it's definitely something you guys did not want to miss. So yes, let's get started today. So I'm here. It's been a while since I did a series. Last time I was in a series, I was in a whole different season, time in my life, and man, everything has been transformational. I literally have been in a transition for a very long time now, getting to know myself, getting to know God more, and just having everything fine-tuned in my life. And it's been a very interesting journey in general, I can say. So just a small life update, I should say. I have moved into a new apartment, and I am still doing really great with dance and everything. And I'm just very thankful. The process of everything has just been very motivating, and I have proven myself to be very confident and very trustworthy with things that I never have done before. And so I'm just very thankful to just be learning a new side of myself and learning more about my surroundings and just going through life. Also, my birthday was in July, and so I am now 24. So it's just been a time now. I believe my last series was way before my birthday, and so to be back and to be just happy and ready to give you guys a message, it feels good to be in this state. So yeah, let's get started. So today's series is going to be called The Blind Spot. The Blind Spot. Yes, child, the blind spot. And so with all that being said, this is going to be very interesting because with my life transforming and me transitioning, it's been quite a time where I've been in the unknown of a lot of things, but yet I've been able to embrace a lot of things that are happening. And so when you're in a realm of learning new things about yourself and also learning new ways, I should say, to trust God, know his nature, get to know more of his character, it can be a challenge at times. Because, as people, we talk about letting go of the past, but now I'm even learning how to let go of the future, and it's just like, I understand and it makes sense to let go of the past, but when it comes to letting go of the weight of the future, it's like, we care about that. Isn't that the most important thing? But I'm learning that the most important thing is the present, what's happening now. Carrying those two weights, baby, you're going to look crazy in the middle of all of that. In the middle of all of it, it's our present, right? And so today, the blind spot is just going to be representing us being in that unknown space in our lives where we know that God is coming through and is promising things and telling us things that he's going to do, but it's not coming to pass, at least the way we see it and not in our timing. And when you're in a season like this, it could be frustrating because you may look to your left and right and see people around you and that getting their promises and being successful. But it should be inspiring more than anything because you see that God is in your neighborhood. And one thing that the Father has been allowing to resonate in my spirit is that he is saving the best for last. And it's kind of funny because a month ago, around August 9th, I came upon an opportunity that I had time to prepare for, time to pray for, and time to really I guess you can kind of say like manifest, align, see if it's in God's will. And I did such preparation because it was also a full circle moment for me, right? Where I was kind of doing the same. It wasn't the same thing, but it was in like the same kind of circumstance. And it just seemed like it was aligning to what is next for me. So I had about a month to prepare, and I had time to really get my mind to this big opportunity, because it was going to be a big opportunity. And the opportunity would have been today, actually. And so to kind of not see that happen the way that I thought it would happen, you know, naturally it can make your feelings hurt. It can make you feel like, okay, well, if that wasn't for me, what did I do wrong? What if it was an opportunity that God wanted for me, but it didn't happen? You know, why was I in my own way? And that's how I felt when the opportunity happened. Because when you are being obedient and you read and you feel like, okay, God, like I'm anxious for what you have for me, and it doesn't happen, it's just like, oh my gosh. So I feel like this right here, me having this moment with you guys and making a video on the day I thought a promise was going to come to pass, is me still showing my Father my faith. Because I know that what's for me, first of all, will never miss me, and doors will open. My gift is still going to make room for me. So to anyone out there that feels like they've been let down or missed opportunities, know that the right things won't ever miss you, and that God has your best interest at first hand. He really does. Because for the opportunities that we want, and I got emotional in church the other day about this, I want great opportunities for myself. I mean, as a growing young woman, I want to have a family someday. I want to be there for me and my spouse, his family, my family. You know, so it's not just opportunities that give me the high for a temporary moment. I want a legacy. I want something that will maintain and stay stable in my life, not something that is easy to get, but easy to lose as well. You know, so I was just so overly emotional in general, because I'm like, I don't want this opportunity just for me. I want this opportunity for my family. I want generational blessings out of what I do. You know what I'm saying? And God just explained to me that He has bigger and better for me. And since I want and have prayed for those things, I have to be patient and let Him work out things. Because sometimes, like, He is preparing us, but sometimes He has to prepare the things that He has for us as well. He has to prepare teams, rooms, environments, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just about us being prepared and not ready for a thing. He has to get those things prepared and ready for us too, especially when they're big. When you've had crazy prayers, you can't settle for counterfeits, you know what I'm saying? So I've been learning that, and it's been kind of hard to accept at times, because, you know, when you're authentic and you're so talented naturally, and you're thinking more of the effect that it could bring to your family, it's like, dang, I really wanted that opportunity, but I'm trusting God today. You know what I'm saying? I'm here today, like, on the very day that I could have been somewhere out of the state doing something that I love. I didn't get it for a reason, but I'm still putting my faith on it. And so basically, the blind spot, we know what it is when we're driving cars, right? And the thing about that is the blind spot itself is something that you can't see. But when you're driving and you're on your way to something, what matters is that you're still in the seat, you're still in the route to go somewhere. And so when we're in this route, whether we're in the passenger seat or God's allowing us to be the driver and He's guiding us, we have to know that He has gone ahead of us. And that is something that has definitely kept me and has given me peace, that I have a Father that has gone ahead of me and is able to come back to where I'm at and guide me to be exactly where He has for me. Because honestly, when it comes to me doing things for myself, I don't know it all. And if I did know it all, I wouldn't be putting myself in situations where I'm always needing help, or I'm emotional, or I don't understand. I would have it all figured out, right? But as a person, I don't. And I'm not afraid to admit that. because I know someone who does know and who has my best interest and knows me weller than I know myself. And so when you're in a blind spot, you're in traffic, you're on your own route. And the thing about it, we as drivers on the road, when we're in traffic, we don't know where everybody else is going. We could be on the same highway, we could be taking the same exit, but there is a time for everybody else. And there's a time for you too. And even if we're going to the same place, like the same store, we all have to have our own parking spots. You know what I'm saying? And so as we're driving and as we're trusting God on our road, we have to know that our eyes have to stay focused. We have to keep forward. And this kind of relies back onto what I said about letting go of the past, what's behind you, and not focusing too much on what's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep your eyes and not hit anything. But with a blind spot, whether you look at the mirrors and you try to look back or look to your left and right, it's a blind spot. You're not going to see exactly what's coming. You know, you can actually try to turn your body, your head, but sometimes blind spots, you know how it is when you're driving. It's still something that you're not going to be able to see all the time. It's something that you may see last minute, right? And so we have to know that as people, that our blind spots when it comes to God is something that we may not have all the information on, but it's something that is given to us by surprise. You know, God is a God that is very, 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 very energetic and wants to surprise his children in his own way. And so we have to trust him and know that we trust him as someone that is guiding us. We trust him as someone who is in charge of our will. You know what I'm saying? And so relying back on being on the road, on your route and your own destination, even when you're changing lanes, you know, you're going to signal things. You're going to have to use your mirrors and stuff. And when doing so, it requires a different type of focus and perspective. And so though you may be in a blind spot in your life, there's still different signals, signs that you can see. Oh, this is so good. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're driving and you have your GPS, and you have something that is telling you how long it may take and where you're going, you still have other precautions that has your back. You know, for example, if I'm from Texas, so if I'm on Highway 161, I can see signs that, okay, this exit is 2.2 miles away. You know what I'm saying? And so even though we're in a blind spot in our lives where we don't see the miracle, we don't see the promise coming the way that we think it should, we still have a God that will send us signs and speak to us in the moment that we're in now. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever travel and you ever see, if you ever travel from state to state, you'll see that, oh, on the right, this city is about 150 miles. You know, you get to see how far you are. But when it comes to having that blessing, the blind spot on where the miracle is coming from is not going to be something that you can always determine. And so for once in our life, we have to just really fix our eyes and correct our perspective on what really matters, you know, because if you go and try to beat the blind spot or beat another car to its destination, it can cause wreck. It can cause injuries. It can be very bad. And so we have to learn and know that as people, it takes time, and it's better that way. It's truly better that way. And so I believe that God in this season is definitely allowing our faith to be tested in ways where it's like, I'm just blessed enough to even be on this road with you, Lord, through it all. The fact that I know what a blind spot is. The fact that I was just telling myself this, and I think I heard it on like a sermon. But when you don't see what's really happening or what's going to happen in your life the way that it really is about to come, it's like, let me rephrase that. Let me say that a little better. So when you're usually an active person, or you are like getting yourself together and you know that God's speaking to you and you're kind of in a pause in your life and nothing's like really happened tremendously, you are in the perfect posture to be blessed. Yeah, you're in a perfect posture to be blessed, for sure. For sure. Nothing's happening. You're not forcing anything. Nothing's forcing you. That leaves room for God to work. Sometimes God has to let things fall off, grow a little bit more, and leave things as is before he comes in with the big boom. Before you see what the blind spot was trying to hide. And so I'm going to leave that here for just today. This will be part 1 of the Blind Spot series. It's going to be a great testimony for us all. I want you guys to actually see God manifest the blind spot in my life. And even if that's something internally, if that's something within my career, family-wise, it doesn't matter. Whatever God has for me is for me. But as an example, and as someone who trusts God and has wanted the opportunity on this very day, look at my hands. I will be the example for whoever may watch. I'm in a blind spot too. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm happy, I'm healthy. And I can honestly say that he's already doing internal work within me. And the fact that I'm being disciplined and I'm awake, it has purpose. So once again, this is part 1. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe and stay tuned for part 2. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.